He said, "Oh, Jason's back. My bad. Jason's back. Jason Jones. All right.
Are we
This
good
guy's
now?
you
Crisp
look
now.
fantastic.
Yeah.
You're in 8K.
Yeah, man.
Oh wow.
Um, let's can we talk about Migos for a second?
Yeah.
Takeoff was murdered in Houston this morning. Kenny and I had a long discussion on the latest episode of Corners of the Culture today. You obviously you write about the culture for the Athletic, and the things that we just got stuck on. Jay was, man, here we are again.
Yeah. I mean, just another pointless, senseless. I mean, just take hip hop it out of it. There's no way in the world that a dice game should lead to that. It's,
Oh,
it's there's people are saying it's a hip hop thing and guys shouldn't be hanging out. I mean, that doesn't because I'm out at 2 in the morning does not mean I deserve to get shot.
right.
And it's just crazy. I mean, I wake up and I'm going, why is everyone tweeting about the Migos? I'm like, I'm thinking it's music when I see Takeoff is trending,
Mm-hmm.
and then I go, wow. And then you start reading about it, and you just go, it's just. I mean, I don't even know what to say anymore. I think it might have been Jamel Hill. I was in college when Biggie and Tupac got killed, and we thought it can't get any worse than this.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seems like now it's almost a weekly thing. It's like, okay, who's the next rapper, who's going to get killed? And I think it speaks to a bigger issue in our society with violence and guns and people's inability to settle conflict without resorting to violence.
Right.
I mean, you got, people talking about, ego, everything. It's just, it's crazy. It's sad. And like I said, I'm whenever I see a rapper trending, I'm always hoping it's for an album.
Right.
And to see that, it was just kind of like, wow, because I know I'm not the Migos target fan base, but I enjoyed a lot of their music. I
Mm-hmm.
really enjoyed their last album.
Yeah.
So it was just like, wow, I can't believe we're doing this again.
Right. And I talked about it a few different times today, and it's like, the absolute lack of um, care for human life. Like if something's going on, dice game, altercation, whatever. All right, let's fight. Or if it even has to be even worse, jump the guy. Why do we have to go to the point where people don't come back? Like where does that come from? You know what I mean? Like,
No one believes in diffusing a situation anymore.
mm,
Everything is escalated.
yeah,
It shouldn't go from that. It shouldn't go from I'm mad to okay, let me get my gun out.
mm,
It's just I don't get it. I don't like it. It's sad. It's crazy. When I was coming up, guys fought over dice games. People didn't
mm,
get murdered over a dice game.
mm,
It's just I don't understand the logic. I don't understand why everything has to be let me go get my gun.
yeah,
I know White Man Can't Jump is one of my favorite movies, and there's that whole scene where he said, "Let me go get my gun." And it's kind of a comedic thing when you look at that thing because everyone's, oh no, but now it really is
That's what it is.
basketball game, card
mm,
game. I don't know, cut me off in traffic, take my parking space, let me go. I mean, it all goes back to go get my gun, which is insane to me.
right,
Like I do everything I can now to avoid any kind of conflict because the way I look at it now, I don't know what that other person's thinking.
right.
You
Mhm.
stepped on my Jordans, okay, I'm gonna go. Okay,
It's whatever, man.
I'm gonna wipe my shoe off and keep it moving. I'm not. I am actively avoiding conflict. It's because I got to get back home to my kids,
Yeah,
and there's no level of disrespect that can happen to me that's worth that. It's not worth it.
yeah,
And even with that said, you don't even have to be involved for it to affect you. Everything you read, this wasn't something that Takeoff did to someone.
right,
Happened to be there.
Yeah.
right.
So it's just crazy.
Yeah. I hate to that we have to talk about it in this way because he's gone, but we talked about it a little bit earlier. Migos, it's one of the great hip hop groups of all time. Like they're on that list. If you have 10 hip hop groups, with with your Wu-Tangs, your Tribes, your Outcasts, they're on that list. The Migos is absolutely on that list, and they're one of the greatest, if not the greatest, for a certain generation, for an era.
Yeah, yeah. Their impact over the last 10 years or so can't be ignored. I know I've seen stuff from older people. I know, well, I never heard of them. I'm like, please keep that to yourself. Stop with the whole
Mhm.
I didn't know who that was. Like his life didn't matter because you didn't listen to his music.
Right.
I mean, there's that, like I said, I'm 44. I remember how we felt when Tupac got killed and Biggie got killed. But I
Mhm.
remember when it was like, I remember when Easy died. So to
Shoot, I
be so,
remember how it felt when Nipsey got killed.
Yeah.
yeah. So to
Yeah.
be so insensitive to equate, compassion to whether or not I liked his album is insane to me. And I've seen a lot of takes like that. And I'm like, you don't have to say anything.
Hmm.
You don't have to you don't have to type anything. You can just, go about your day and say nothing. There's
Yeah.
no need to diminish someone's life because you never heard their music. A lot of people heard their music.
Yeah.
I mean, the numbers don't lie when it comes to their impact, in music. The numbers don't lie,
Yeah.
and I think there's probably a lot of people who don't even realize they've nodded their head to the Migos and didn't realize it. People were saying Bad and Bougie, had no idea where it came from.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So,
Hmm.
I mean, it's just, I grew up in South Central and Long Beach. I saw people who, and heard of, you hear about just senseless violence. You try not to be desensitized to it, but it's like, man, are we ever going to get to a place as a society where people just say it's not acceptable to shoot someone because you disagree?
Right. I hope so.
And he just seemed to be the most chill dude, quiet dude who loved hip hop. And it's frustrating, Jay, because a great deal of our discussion, and we'll get to the Kings here in a heartbeat. A great deal of our discussion this morning was about how brutal this is for the hip hop community and how brutal this is for the black community. Because when very high profile deaths happen in the black community, you get your opposers to Black Lives Matter who come out and have something to say about, oh, well, what about this? You're not marching for this. You're not marching for gun violence within your own community. And it's fighting multiple battles all at the same time.
Yeah, and I think we can all agree that that's completely insane. I don't know anyone who thinks that it's okay. First off, just statistically and logically, people are killed by the people in their community. So it's not
That's
really
it.
it's not a black on black it's a community thing.
Mhm.
Was it Young Dolph was going to go get donuts in Memphis?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, that wasn't it's a black it's a you people hurt the people near them.
Hmm.
So, of course, more than likely, statistically, it's going to be this race did this and this, and because that's who you were around. It's
Right.
Yeah.
not because, so I get so frustrated when something like this happens and someone says, well, oh, so you guys only care when it happens to a rapper. It's not true.
No.
The same people who I know who say Black Lives Matter are upset about these things as well.
Absolutely.
And it's just, even it creates these respectability debates. Well, maybe you shouldn't dress nice when you go outside, and why did you have I'm like, so are you serious? It gets to the point people start putting it down to that. Well, if you have money, don't go outside. It's like,
Mm.
he should be able to go to a bowling alley.
Yeah. A private party, by the way. He should be able to go to a private party.
Yeah, in so many of these cases, the person who does the killing is a part of the group, so to speak.
Mm.
Like, who was there?
Yeah.
This wasn't
Yeah.
like a random guy, probably off the street, more than likely.
Right.
Maybe it was, I don't know, but too many of these cases we see where it's like it's someone, the perpetrator knew, someone that was known to the victim. So who knows what happened? We really, people like to run and make, judgments. People blame PNB Rock's girlfriend, which was ludicrous from the jump.
Disgusting. Yeah.
I think we just, rather than deal with the issue, that blame the person who killed him.
Correct.
Stop blaming the people who are still here. Blame the person who pulled the trigger. It's, you know,
Right.
I don't care if he walked into a restaurant with 30 chains on.
Right.
That does not give you the right to kill them.
Well, no, I agree 100%, man. And I just, you know, we talked about earlier, man. I'm speaking to my people. You know, we got to do better, man. We got to do better. You know what I'm saying? We've got to value life a little bit more than, and it's not everybody, obviously, but we just got to make sure we get that message out there that you know, value life, man. Value life.
Yeah, niggas say, yeah, celebs got to move a different way, but even if they don't, that doesn't justify taking their lives. You know, I know when I'm in certain parts of LA, I know how I got to move. You know, I know I'm like, okay, it's about this time to get up out of here. But even still, that does not give someone the right to kill you because they didn't move the right way.
Well, let's shift our focus here. There's no cute transition to make, so I'm not going to attempt to make one. I'm just going to tell the people tuning in, Jason Jones, a culture writer for The Athletic, and allegedly a host of the J Street Vibes podcast. Apparently, they pulled it out of the treasure chest. Again, this is all a rumor. Only 3 people on the entire planet have said that the J Street Vibes podcast is back, but Jason still covering the Sacramento Kings as he always had. Kings get their second win of the season last night. It comes at a little bit of a cost. De'Aaron Fox, no structural damage to that, to the knee after banging it with Nick Richards yesterday, but he'll be out tomorrow versus Miami. His status will be evaluated on a day-to-day basis moving forward. What did you see from Davion that really we hadn't seen yet this year in yesterday's game?
He made some shots.
Yeah.
I mean, he made shots. I mean, he had made, 5 games in, he was struggling to make shots. So he made some shots. And he shot it. I mean, I love the confidence he shot the ball with. The way he was shooting the ball, that was not a guy who had made 7-9 shots all season. That wasn't a guy who you would say, man, he's, whatever it was, 2 of 12 from 3, wherever he was going into the game. That's not what you saw. That guy shot the ball confidently. And I think Davion's a natural leader. So when he has the minutes, all those things come out. And he hadn't played more than 16, 17 minutes since the opener. And any player will tell you it's hard to get a rhythm, especially on offense when you're playing 14 minutes, because you're not it's not like he's playing 14 minutes straight.
Right.
You're playing a few minutes here, a few minutes there. So you see when he gets minutes and he can, kind of settle in, he can play.
And one of the things about that too, when he's not playing the 20 minutes, 21 minutes or something like that, I hope you guys understand what I say when I say this. What I mean when I say this is if you're at a certain talent level, which I think Davion Mitchell is, he's shown when he gets the opportunities, he can put up those type of numbers and have those type of performances. It's hard to get 14 minutes and feel like you're in the groove. Right. So like for instance, Deli could get 14 minutes and he knows that's where I'm at in my career. So I got these 14 minutes. I'm accepting of it. And I'm going to produce what I produce in that 14 minutes. He made, what do you have? Did he have 3 points only last night? And we were like, great. Deli played great. Right.
It's the Matthew Dellavedova game. He was 1 for 2.
Davion has 3 points last night.
Made life hell for Steph Curry right there.
Monday, the showdown, the showdown. But Davion has 3 points, and we're like, yo, what's wrong with Davion?
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's what we talked about a little bit yesterday, Damian and Jason, is he may have to find a happy medium where if it is 14 minutes a game, make it super impactful without maybe filling up the stat line. And if you're able to go a little longer, 17, 18, 19 minutes, cool, start filling up the stat line. But it's one of those things that I think he was struggling with at the beginning of the season. And even before playing 20-something minutes last night, like you mentioned, Jay, he came out aggressive, ready to go. He was producing in the first 5 minutes he was playing. So I just think it's something that he's got to figure out the balance with and the happy medium and figure out the flow with.
Yeah, I tell people being a 6th man is a special gift. I mean, guys like Lou Will and, Jamal Crawford, the way they were able to get into that role and make a career. It's not, not everyone can do it. A lot of it's part of it is mental, part of it's just, jumping in. Guys would always tell me sometimes it's hard to just jump into a game and get in the flow right away. He said you start getting warmed up and then you're coming right back out. Like I said, that's why Jamal Crawford's career, especially as a sixth man, always amazed me. He could always just step on the court and just go, instantly, and like I said, lose the same way. So I just think, it's going to take some time, in this role. I mean, just 2 years ago, he was the best player on a national championship team. And I don't care who you are, to go from that, you're a lottery pick, and you go to a team that has a point guard that they just gave a max deal to.
Right.
So you walk in knowing that starting job isn't mine, and it's not going to be mine anytime soon. I mean, remember when he came in, there were 2 point guards. So, I mean, there's going to be an adjustment period. He's got a new second coach, his third coach as a pro already. Who knows how much different what Alvin's at? Well, not Alvin, but Mike Brown asked him to do compared to what Alvin wanted him to do, compared to what Luke was asking. It's going to take some time, but I think, Davion can play. He's clearly an NBA player. Just a matter of, as long as De'Aaron's healthy and playing well, it's going to be hard just to justify giving him more than 15, 18. It's going to be hard to figure out how to do that unless you're going to play, a smaller backcourt, three guard lineups.
Jason, did you know when the Kings traded for Kevin Huerter that he would go down as the greatest Sacramento King of all time?
No. No, I mean, I thought he would help them, but I didn't think they'd be putting his jersey in the rafters already.
Yeah. I mean, I think the ceremony is against Cleveland. I think that's the ceremony.
Yeah,
rightfully so. Yeah. Probably a little late, but rightfully so.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's going to get his up there before Keegan, but I think he's earned it. Yeah.
Good point. Well, Keegan might be on the trading block after that performance yesterday.
Disappointed.
We saw him miss shots, I think, for the first time in history, and so
I was stunned. I was like, did he just miss like 3 shots in this game? I'm like, yeah, they messed up in the draft, they botched it completely, They got to go ahead and trade him and De'Aaron, And you got to get De'Aaron up out of here, Davion proved that last night. You got to go ahead and get, Keegan's got to go after last night. You can't have a starter play like that. You just can't tolerate it.
You can't have a starter missing shots, man. Come on.
I mean, what do you expect from him? I mean, he has played in 5 NBA games or 4 or 5? Come on.
And how is he still missing shots in 5 games later?
Utah doesn't miss shots.
Never. I mean, I watch the other guys put the head of him play. They don't miss shots.
No, none of
Keegan
them.
Murray, he's got to go. I mean, there's no need. Why even waste the time? Let's do like they did with Derek Favors back in the day. Get him out.
Oh, man.
Get him out.
That's too far.
Get him out of here. And then we can go on Twitter and find some more fun trades to get people worked up.
Might as well have drafted Anthony Bennett at this point.
Yeah, I mean, disappointed all around with his effort. He's got to look in the mirror and decide right now what he wants to be with his career.
Let's take that stoic face and look in the mirror, Keegan. All kidding aside, he we did see like a different type of Keegan Murray last night in that he was missing his shot there, but he found a way to stay active in the game. And then I know I've pointed this out all day, but can't help but point it out. You 5th game or whatever it was, he was 4 of 14 at the time. Kings needed a big shot with 4 minutes left. Keegan took it and he made it. Like his confidence never wavered through the entire game, which I think is an amazing trait in and of itself.
Yeah, he has a very mature game.
Yeah.
Very mature game. He, and even though the shots weren't falling, he didn't fall into the trap of taking bad shots. Like, let me just start hoisting them up just because I got to get a shot to go. When that shot he got late in the 4th, that was you needed the bucket. It was a good shot as well. It wasn't just, okay, 1-on-2, let me just take a step back 3 just because I need to get a shot up. And you need guys who understand that it's also a good understanding of the time of the game, the moment in the game. You don't need you don't need a heat check shot then. You need a good shot, and he went out there and got it. You know, like I said, it was a very mature, to me, it's weird to say, a very mature win for them. Yeah. You know, they were down, they didn't panic. They got the lead by making good, smart plays. You know, they played better defensively, got good shots. So yeah, it was very, very unkings-like from it was, because remember, it was a season ago, we saw they were in Charlotte, and that's where Buddy took the contested,
oh my gosh,
out of bounds
that Luke clearly did not draw.
He took the contested turnaround 3 over 2 people.
I think we made it till 3:45 before anyone trashed Buddy. That's got to be a record. That's got to be a record. We made it till 3:45. Guys, I'm proud of ourselves. This is progress right here. This is progress.
I just lost my invitation to the Bahamas with that one. I know.
Just lost it.
Hey, Jason, one of the things that kind of have people, a little confused and somewhat concerned is the play of Domantas Sabonis. And namely the fact that he can't seem to stay out of foul trouble. Is there legit concern there? Is that something you think is going to plague him all year long?
I don't know if it plagues him all year long. I mean, I think if you're a situation where your guards keep letting guys get into the lane all the time, that could be a problem. But I mean, he's been in the league long enough. I think he'll figure it out. Just figure out, okay. And sometimes you got to understand your role on the team and realize, sometimes it's better for me to put my hands up and concede the 2 than it is for me to just I remember one of the fouls. It was just as simple as he had his hands up and he brought his arm down. It was, it wasn't like he's out there just, hacking people all the time. Some of it's just positioning and things of that sort. I also wonder if his role in this deep, remember in Indiana, he had Miles Turner to do a lot of this stuff. He could, Miles was the guy in the paint, taking care of a lot of this stuff. So it's a different role for him. I think partly is that being the center that moves him around a little bit. And it's a new system for him, probably a little bit defensively. But even with that said, even when we talk about new systems, most of the systems in the NBA, I mean, they're not so drastically different. It's not like they're going to come in and play box and one an entire game. So I think it'll just be, it's an adjustment period. I think it's, there is no Miles Turner next to him. So he's going to have to, just get used to it. And the thing is, too, is part of his reputation. He does not have the rep as a great defender. So the bumps and stuff that guys like the Goberts and the Bam Adebayos get away with, they're not giving Sabonis those calls. I mean, I know we're not supposed to say that the refs take into account who the player is, but they definitely take into account the fact that if a guy runs into him and kind of falls, you're going to assume Sabonis must have bumped him because
Sabonis got a defensive stop. Oh, he must have committed a foul.
Yeah, he did. Oh no, that's a foul.
There's no way it's something legal. Well,
there's no way he's a better defender than he was last year. That's impossible.
No.
One of the things that's issue, you talk about him, when he was in Indiana playing next to Miles Turner. Unfortunately for Sabonis, he's playing next to this bum Keegan Murray, and that's what that's what ruins everything. Is he's playing next to this guy Keegan Murray who can't do anything right.
Between that and the De'Aaron Fox guy, they need to trade. Of course, Sabonis is just
apparently they need to trade Fox for Russell Westbrook. So Davion Mitchell can get more minutes. That's what I read this morning.
That's a good idea. I like. You know what? Let's get a campaign started. Yeah, I think Russ would. Yeah. I can support that.
I'm sure you can.
How about this? The Lakers will even throw in Troy Brown Jr. Who you want?
Thank you.
You want Damian Jones back? What do you need?
Damian Jones.
You want a second round pick?
Damian should have stayed.
You want a second round pick? Hey, whatever. I will. I'm pretty sure the Lakers would gladly accommodate that trade for Sacramento. I mean, and guess what? We'll even maybe throw in a first round pick. How about that?
Wow, I think that was the proposer of this trades idea. That's what y'all better be careful who you follow and respond to on social media.
Yeah, man. Damian's boy be wow.
Okay, we got Russ, one first round pick, and what else? to get De'Aaron to LA. What else? I mean, if they couldn't get Buddy, they couldn't get DeMarcus. I think at this point, why not De'Aaron? Why not? I mean, because clearly the team is so much better without him. You saw that in the second half last night. They were getting killed when De'Aaron was playing. So go ahead and make the deal now. Let me call Monty and help him out with this. Like, Monty, I don't know what you saw, but I'm going to tell you what I saw. I saw a team that needs a veteran like Russell Westbrook. So go ahead, Monty, make the deal. Get off that salary for future years. And then, conversely, it saves the Lakers the idea of having to bring conspiracy Kyrie next season.
I'm one of Russ's biggest fans. I can't even stand this conversation.
I can't believe what's going on here.
Involved. I think it helps everyone involved. I mean, I don't see why. I mean, I'm pretty sure Malik could help De'Aaron find good restaurants in LA. I mean, if we're just going to throw trades against the wall, why not make sure we help like the Lakers and the Knicks?
I don't know how this happened today. We went from like somber to sarcastic really quickly.
Blame me.
The whole Kings conversation is just reeked of sarcasm.
That's it.
Hey, because
for those who don't know, I love Keegan Murray.
Do you though? Are we sure of that?
Jason is as big of an instigator as you are.
He's an S stuff.
Well, so are you. So stop it. So are you.
You say you like Keegan Murray, but do you really like Keegan Murray? I don't know.
Okay, real talk though. One thing on the Lakers before we go. Isn't the best move to just die this year and keep moving forward next year?
Not when you're
like you can't. You can't. Well, I don't mean tank. I just mean
just play it out.
Just play it out. You're not winning.
Just play it out. I mean,
which is death. You're going to die. You play it out. You're going to die. Like that's the outcome. The team is terrible. But
I think you look for a deep. You obviously look around, but you don't give up a bunch of first-round picks just to get off a guy who's going to be off your books in a year.
Right.
I mean, hey, it is. I'm kind of with the Lakers. It is what it is. You just play it out. I don't think they'll shoot 20% from three the whole season. So I think.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
I almost think it's impossible to be as bad as they started making threes against Denver. So I mean, maybe maybe Lonnie Walker and some other guy will be there. Maybe not the Splash Brothers, but maybe I'll take the Puddle Brothers at this point. Can we just get like a stop on the puddle, just like a little
showtime to the Puddle Brothers?
Hey, Adam L says it perfectly. If the Lakers die, they die.
Wow.
Hey, chill now. Let's not say that. Let's be nice now. Hey, you keep that bad Laker energy headed toward LA. This streak will be 17 years old. Let's
oh, come on.
Is that all it takes to end the streak?
Let's be respectful.
Positive vibes. All right. I'm
just saying.
Vibration.
Kind, and let's keep the attention on this, on Kevin Huerter, Hall of Famer.
Listen to vibrations,
and let the Lakers, figure out whatever it is they're doing. Let's be positive.
Hey, Jason, we're love over here.
Do you know who I am? I'm love.
I'm love.
Change your vibrations, y'all. Change your vibrations.
Let's
change our vibrations and be positive.
This went so south. Jason Jones of The Athletic and allegedly of the J Street Vibes podcast. Jay, we appreciate you as always, my brother. Thank you.
No problem. All right, catch you next week.